David, we'll start with Tuesday night, a win. It's been a while since we've had one of these at Field Mill. Well, it feels like it anyway. But pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm delighted the way you put it. Yeah, no, very pleased with the victory against a very good side, I must say. They've done very well this season, and I give Justin and his staff the credit for that, and the team. They've worked very hard, and they've got some very good players. So yeah, it was against a good side, and give credit to my players.
You hinted at it on Tuesday evening. You felt that your luck had turned a little bit.
Well, we managed to score a penalty. So yeah, no, the boys earned their luck. We've said that before. You can put it down to a number of things, but we managed to take the chances that we created, and that's the big difference in securing a victory and obviously coming away disappointed.
You praised the fans on Tuesday night for their response to A, your team, and B, yourself, and with your programme notes on the front of the programme on Tuesday night. But did you get into your office on Tuesday and think, maybe the fans were a little bit fickle? They'd been on your back the week before in quite a way, and yes, on Tuesday those exact same fans were stood next to the tunnel wanting to pat you on the back, where the two performances, there was only one difference. There was a W next to your name.
Correct. Fans want to see victories, so do managers and all supporters. So no, I was very pleased with the manner in which we we played, and certainly the game's never won in the first half. It's always won over 90 minutes, and I think we recognise that.
In terms of this weekend's game, you've got a crisis maybe in the back four?
It's worse than that, I think. Seems to be. So yeah, there's a lot of equations that I'm trying to address right now, certainly this morning, and we'll see who's available. We don't look like many.
If we run through them then, Gary Silk, that's a hamstring injury. Is he totally out for this weekend?
I believe so at the minute, and I'm not. It's not Wayne Rooney. I'm not talking about kidding here. He looks extremely doubtful, and I wouldn't imagine he'd recover in that time. So he will be absent at this moment. Andy
Nicholas, a fractured elbow, is it not? Has he returned to Rotherham?
Yes, Andy has played his last game this season, and certainly he's been very good since he's been here, putting some solid performances. A real nice guy, and again, I'm grateful for Ronnie Moore and helping me with that situation when we needed a left back. And yeah, we hope he recovers significantly, because obviously it was a nasty blow he took right next to us into the sideboard in there, and we wish him well.
Luke Foster, now he is fit but maybe unavailable between the agreement between the two clubs.
We had an agreement, and I'll honour that agreement, as I would expect anybody to always honour an agreement. No, I've got an agreement with Chris Wilder, and Luke wanted to play, of course he does, against his former side, but it's an agreement between ourselves when we made the deal to get Luke, and we'll certainly stick with it.
Luke Jones, is he fit in the physical form, but maybe not match fit?
Yep, you've hit the nail on the head. So I think I might have to get my boots on. That'll be interesting.
So Scott Garner appears to be the only fit.
We're going to go one at the back and 9 up front. Interesting game.
Craig Armstrong. Paul Heckingbottom on loan. They're still registered with this club, but will they be returning to this football club for the last 2 games of the season?
Paul definitely not, and obviously Craig. I've got an option to bring Craig back, but it looks highly unlikely.
So would this be the opportunity for youthful members of your side to be given the opportunity?
I think Oxford away for a youth team player would be quite a tough one, don't you? So I doubt it very much.
So it'll be a case of rejigging your side, and it'll be come 3 o'clock when we'll find out probably the makeup of it.
Yeah, you've got to go with experience. Oxford away, they're a good, strong side, and they've had a tremendous season. And full respect for Chrissy Wilder and the setup and the people behind the scenes of Oxford, and very good people. So I don't think it'd be right to sling a youth team player in there, and obviously I don't want to hurt anybody.
It's a game where you'll be looking for another win. It's not since October that Mansfield have achieved back-to-back wins. Would it be fair to say that's probably the reason why Mansfield are not in a playoff spot?
Well, we know that we've had too many draws, and they're the games that have cost us, where we haven't secured victories, and we've got to change that mentality. But likewise, we're letting soppy goals. And, I'm not happy with the way some of the goals have been conceded, and we've got to change that mentality of the players. The players have always worked 150% for this football club, and we've got to try and change that quality.
We've talked about how difficult it's going to be against Oxford, but they're, shall we say, in a patchy form at the minute. They were runaway leaders for a lot of this season, but in the last 12 games they've maybe got too many draws like yourself.
Well, that's been the difference for Chris and his team, is that they had that's something to hang on to, and there's a different type of pressure then, isn't there? So it's certainly being runaway leaders, and I think the pressure of the club on the club is that the fact is that they were able to secure the services of some highly rated players at the time, and for fees, and that's obviously put more pressure on them, because the fans expect them to win the league within their expenditure. But likewise, there's been some very good players there, and they must be respected. Sadly for Chris, he hasn't been able to maintain that, and obviously that's why the pressure's been on him, and perhaps it's the fan base, and it's a big club there, isn't it? And but they've had a good season.
They've got some very good players as well, especially up front.
Yeah, I'm a big admirer of Constable. I certainly am, and the boy Green, I like very much. And no, they've got some extremely talented and strong players.
We all, fans, press, we all, want Mansfield Town to win, every game they play. But tomorrow, considering all the injuries you have got, would an away point be a victory within itself?
It's an interesting question, because we want to go and play, and I've always set up a team to go and win. And wherever we go out there, we go out with that mentality. But do you go there to draw? And is that right? I don't know. So we'll see. I've really got to find out who's available, and it'll be up to the 24 last minutes before the game who I can select. So as of today, at the moment, I doubt I can pick a side.
In terms of the away trip, it's going to be in front of a large crowd. Oxford have averaged over 5,000 fans at their place all season. I imagine you're a manager, David, who would relish going into a cauldron like that. I mean, if we're talking about 5,000 fans, okay, probably you've played in front of crowds a lot bigger, but if we're talking about the Blue Square Prem, it's a very big crowd.
Yes, a big crowd, and the likes of Oxford and Luton, certainly Wimbledon, they've got the fan bases, haven't they? No, I think you've got to roll your sleeves up and go and enjoy it, go and play. You want to, as a player, a young player or a senior player, you should want to play in front of the biggest crowds you can, and it makes an atmosphere. When there's no atmosphere, it's horrible. So for me, if there's a bit of banter between two sets of fans, surely it's you want an atmosphere, and you want to play in front of it. All I say to any player, go and enjoy, whether you're at this club or any club, go and play in front of the biggest crowd you can, because it means you're doing well.
You've mentioned getting your boots out in this interview, David. Have you got your last pair of match boots that you played in?
No, I think someone nicked them. I gave them all away, but I've got a nice pair down there. They're coming out soon, so I enjoy it.
Thank you, David.
Pleasure.
Will it be a case of playing Burge then, mate, do you think, left?
It's a case of there's probably two that can do it, or three that can do it, but whether they can do it up to the standards we want is a different kettle of fish. So no, they're all Burge has played there before, Nixie, Soms. That's about it really. So we'll see.
Will Jonah presumably play with Garns then?
Yeah,
even though he's not fully fit.
I've got nobody else.
That's it, isn't it?
We haven't got anybody else to play, and people say I've got a big squad. Interesting.
With regard to Nicholas, I know obviously he's gone back now, but I mean, is he? Having said that he's done well, is he someone you might look to sign in the future?
Afford him.
Sorry?
I don't think we can afford him.
No.
I mean, we pay a percentage of his wages here, and I doubt very much we'll be able to afford him and Andy Nicholas. So I'm grateful that we could get him on his wages. It may be a case of having to do that next season with a young player, or putting Ben Turner in and seeing how he does. I'm delighted with Ben's progress this year, but physically he's still developing. But he's had a good year in the Unibond, and he might have to come into the equation.
Is it next year perhaps going to be then a case of having to sort of loan more players, you know, as and when, rather than just kind of loaning them to supplement what you've already got?
Well, we brought players in this year on loan for long-term loans because I felt that it was the right time, and it proved to be the case because then you don't have to chop and change for the rest of the season. And I think that was a valuable piece of timing then. But no, at the moment it's a case of evaluating what we've got and what we haven't got.